Break, folks. Don't go anywhere.
Fight well in the old style, but you've caused me enough trouble. Now you face the Shredder.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. What an incredible game one. That was absolutely phenomenal.
Oh, it was so cool because, I mean, so often the matchups follow along rails. Well, he builds this defense at this time, and then the other dude attacks, and he won, and there you go. And you've all sort of seen it. You know the standard attack timings, but there was nothing standard about that game. Gosu user with the gas steal, going for roaches, and then not being able to attack because Drunken Boy went for one tank and then pulled back into a composition that should have been an attacking one, but he correctly didn't attack with it, and then nothing but amazing dropping start to finish. I mean, it was just a delight to watch.
That was a great game. Let's see if they can repeat that or whether it'll be a flash in the pan. We are ready to get started. Hopefully these guys are as well. And we are going into it pretty much right about now. Here we are. Belshir Vestige will be the arena for this matchup. And we will be here right about now. There we go. We're in. Wonderful. Nice and smooth.
I feel like this is going to be a more tense version of Belshir Beach. There's fewer bases. The fourth base for each player is critical. It defines all the strategy on this map.
Belshir Beach, of course, a very chilled out place as well. Always nice to see that. I like to visit it in my holidays. Until it got wintry, and then it was like, well, if I wanted to be miserable and cold, I'll just go to Finland.
But people are awesome in Finland.
That's
and
very
people
true.
are out to kill you on Belshir Beach.
Yeah, that's very, very true indeed. I think Finland has had some of the most memorable after-tournament drinking sessions that I can possibly imagine. I tried many things. I don't know what they were called. I couldn't pronounce them, but most of them were delicious. At least I think they were. It's hard to say. All right, folks. Here we are on Belshir Vestige. This man right here just got upset. Let's see if he remains upset or whether he's able to get his mind in gear. He is.
Millennium Gosu user.
He's in the red trunks playing Zerg to the southeast. Versus his opponent, who is not messing around today. Absolutely not. He breaks out some phenomenal macro play and great decision-making. Known for his cheese, and yet now able to put together a far more wholesome and delicious and nutritious recipe. He is...
FXO Drunken Boy.
Alright. So we're seeing gas here from Drunken Boy, of course. He's not walling off, which is interesting. Got that barracks slightly back.
Yeah, I mean, in general, I don't really mind this play. I think it only really makes sense if you're looking to build a tech structure that needs an add-on, and you have the barracks build that add-on, and you're trying to hide it. You know, if you're going for something like factory add-on, trying to hide the factory. So it looks like that's kind of what Drunken Boy might be intending to do. Could very well see some sort of very fast Hellbat drop as well. Actually, I probably would lean towards the fast Hellbat drop given this look. I mean, going for regular Hellions, I think is generally a little bit of a weaker play.
Yeah, I also think that when you're in this position, the best three, where you've taken that first game, this is the kind of time when you can afford to fall back on the build you're most comfortable with to try and eke out that 2-0 victory. And if it doesn't work, alright, cool. Learn from your mistake, you've still got a map.
So if he does want to go for that sort of play, he would immediately be constructing a refinery right now, but we're not quite seeing that, so it looks like he may very well be going for the Hellions, or the reactor play, I should say, but that still seems just a little bit odd to me. Oh, is he going to get this Overlord? Oh, God, Drunken Boy, yeah! This is so cool to see. I mean, it's kind of funny. Most people just build the 2 Marines because you can build the 2 Marines, but Drunken Boy doesn't think like that ever. He's just like, okay, well, I'm going to build the 2 Marines, and what can I do with these? Well, what are the angles of the Overlords? Let me try to kill those.
Yeah, he picked it off really nicely as well. Ghost user's Overlord positioning is always stellar in pretty much every game he ever plays. So I guess the problem with that is that it can be exploited if you know your opponent pretty well. And he called that out really nicely.
Oh my god, he's going to be going for the factory double Hellion play. No, wait, what? He's going for the starport? Wait, what? Okay, I'm completely lost and confused. This is just a weak build in my eyes.
Oh, okay. Well,
never mind. Ignore me.
Alright, that's fine. Yeah, so Starport's coming in behind that, but yeah, double factory, double Hellion play would be nice. So that's very much a bit of a classic build there. Doesn't get used all that much recently, but...
Oh, Drunken Boy accidentally shot at his own Marine, which I thought was kind of funny. When the Zerglings arrived and tried to kite, he just aim-clicked on one of his Marines.
Yeah, well, Drunken Boy has revealed Hellions now, but he's not going to stick in Hellions. He's actually only built 2. Now he's swapping... What is he doing? I mean, this is a difficult thing to call. Now he's building a single Hellion to add on to that.
Yeah,
so it looks like he wants to do the Hellion drop.
Yeah, this is this mine drop play that you know, some players still try to do against Zerg.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Or, oh, I'm sorry, that's a Hellion. Okay,
yeah, he is building another Hellion. If he was building another mine, then it's like, oh, yeah, cool. But it looks like he wants to do the 4 Hellion drop regardless. Maybe an elevation play or something? I don't know.
You know, honestly, the fact of the matter is that Ghost User is playing safe, playing stably, and will be in absolutely fantastic position, especially after this Roach Warren goes down. He's going to get himself another round of drones. He's stopped at like 10 Zerglings is perfect. 10 or 12, 14, something like that is great for dealing with these annoying little drops and buying a little bit of time. Drunken Boy, I think, does desperately need to get up a 3rd command center. Otherwise, this build just does not make a lot of sense.
Yeah, this looks like it's going to be an elevation play because this medevac is full of Marines, so we'll most likely see the Marines drop in, and then he'll elevate the Hellions into the base. Overlord coverage will spot this pretty early, though. It spotted 1 Hellion. There we go. This has already been seen. There are no Roaches out yet, but there's going to be about 5, so this is 7. Wow, so this actually it could involve him then going across the map and just killing his opponent or doing some damage. But Drunken Boy is going in right now. Let's see how much economic damage he can really do. I don't think a lot. Not with the Roaches popping out.
The Roaches are inches from popping out. He's actually just going to sacrifice the Lings intentionally. He has his Roaches rallied. Oh!
That was a good shot. That was the second good shot.
2 amazing shots, 3 amazing shots, and Drunken Boys even following up with the absolute money answer, just getting tanks on the back end. This attack should not have done very well. It really, truly should not have done that much damage. That was just Gosu User miscounting by a few seconds, but I mean, Drunken Boy, with everything, you know, even with everything I've said, I think this is a generally weak build. Drunken Boy is following it up perfectly. He is getting the siege tanks. You absolutely must do that. You cannot go for stim or mines or any of that sort of garbage. You must get something really potent against Roaches and Banelings, because those are the 2 things that can decimate this build's follow-up.
Now, there's a little bit of minutia that I'd like to talk about. Funnily enough, that Overlord kill may have very well allowed that to work, because for about 20 seconds, Ghost User was supply blocked at a time he shouldn't have been. Think about what that could have meant. And if he'd had those extra units, if that Roach Warren had gone down slightly earlier, that drop would have been completely shut down. But I don't know, maybe I'm giving Drunken Boy a little bit too much credit here. But I think that the circumstances aligned to allow that to do way more damage than it should have.
There's no doubt in my mind that contributed to the strength of that drop. Yeah. I do think that it would have, you know, manifested in the form of the Roaches being able to pop out a little bit earlier, maybe not getting the good angle. You know, the Hellions try to run around to get a good shot, and the Roaches pick off 1. Then he gets the shot off that kills maybe 8 workers, and then it's done then and there. But I mean, he killed off... How many workers did he kill off in that attack?
He killed
60?
11. So
wow. I mean, that's a
right.
lot more than you should be losing, yeah.
And this Viking, I love this choice. He has killed a bunch of Overlords with this Viking already. It's actually killed 3 Overlords, which is wonderful. It's such a great investment just to completely deny map control and scouting ability, because it forces your opponent to keep their Overlords in their base and not around the map where they can see drops coming.
Macro Hatch has to go down very soon by Ghost User. His big tool will be the Zerglings. He's up against a traditional Marine tanking player. I think Marine tank is fantastic in Heart of the Swarm. Bomber uses it regularly to ridiculous efficiency, just because tanks don't require any sort of siege mode. So you can both get tanks and really fast 1-1.
Drunken Boy now going in for the drop here. Quick pickup. Kills a queen, leaves. Nice and simple. He could drop there, but, you know, the Spore Crawler's in range. That's probably going to... No, it's slightly out of range. Drunken Boy with good drop control here, but this isn't going to do much. He's got to leave. But, you know, even just taking the queen out is great. It really is. That takes him down to 2 queens. 1 was away, spreading creep. That means that the injects are... They're still going, actually, because he was on top of those, but it slows things down a little bit. It's a nice little victory.
Mm-hmm. And wow, is Drunken Boy... Wow... We see him going for double factory now.
Armory coming down as well. And there's no 1-1 yet. Although he's going double engineering bay as well. He may decide to incorporate Hellbats in a little bit earlier there.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Hellbat Marine is probably one of my favorite compositions in this matchup. It's very, very easy to do a composition like what we're seeing out of Drunken Boy, and then for the Zerg to go, oh, okay, well in that case, I'll be going heavy Muta Ling. and then you suddenly have a whole bunch of Hellbats, and it becomes very difficult to engage.
Ooh, this is a nice drop here by Drunken Boy. He forces a lot of mining time away, and he kills about 4 or 5 workers, and then drops the third as well. There's nothing to stop him there. Ghost User's being picked to pieces here, and this is really uncharacteristic of him.
Yeah, I mean, normally Ghost User has amazing map vision, shuts down drops left and right, has everything prepared, but I actually think that Ghost User is literally having nerve issues.
Against Drunken Boy?
Nothing
You really
more.
think so? I mean, he comes in with all of this bravado, and most people would say Ghost User is the better player, and yet maybe he is rattled.
It's very unusual what rattles players and what doesn't. I mean, the fact of the matter is, Ghost User tends to play well when he is the severe underdog. In his series against MMA, MVP, and Bomber, all of which I saw, played phenomenally. Some of the best games I've ever seen him play are those games. But players like Thorzane have even said that they tend to get nervous if they're against a worse player, because they feel how intimidating it is to lose, or how embarrassing it would be. They feel like there's this pressure that they have to win.
Nice little maneuver here by Drunken Boy, allowing him to actually pick off a Mutalisk. He might even get a second one. You know, it's saying, alright, this drop is doomed. If I boost and then drop, the Mutalisks have two choices. Either they stop and let the medevac get away to pick off the Marines, or they chase that and they get dragged over bullets, which is not pleasant. So that was actually a great move. And now we're actually going to see an intense biomine play with drilling claws coming out from Drunken Boy here.
Yeah, same logic as trying to incorporate a couple of Hellbats. Mines are a lot better against, a lot of people think they're better against Mutiling in general, but they're especially ridiculously good against the Mutalisk portion of these compositions.
Oh man, that's a mass burrow. Ooh, big connection. Doesn't get as much as it could have, but that hit a lot of Banelings. That was nasty. But it did trigger all the mines, so there's no mines available for the next 40 or so seconds now.
Drunken Boy really does not have that many Marines in this situation, but God, Ghost User is just being astoundingly disorganized in this position. Desperately needs to get it together.
Those Marines are chasing roaches. Like, this isn't really supposed to happen, but they're doing their job quite nicely. I guess that's what happens when you give them bayonets. They get delusions of grandeur.
Like you do. You never want to give someone a bayonet too young, because then they'll begin taking over the world at a very young age.
It's very true. A building went down there. That is unfortunately something I did miss because we were following that, but there was definitely a building dying. I'm not really sure which one it was.
That was Baneling Nest.
Baneling Nest. Alright, well that's nice. That's really, really nice. He's going to work on the macro hatch now and actually get sieged up. He doesn't even care about killing this creep. He's just like, I'm on the creep. I don't care. And unfortunately, that's going to really cost him.
Yeah, this seems like a very risky angle from Drunken Boy. He luckily is going to be able to take this down without having too much of a negative exchange. The medevacs will get out, but gosh, Drunken Boy, look at the natural expansion. Has a big old pack of Marine mine medevac already prepped and ready to rock.
Well, he's going to lose a few medevacs here. There's no real doubt about that. Ghost User managing to pick off one. He's probably not going to get the second one unless he decides to dive right into the base. Oh, that was a misclick, certainly. That allowed that one to die. Now the flank comes in. Now, he lost 5 Widow Mines because his control just wasn't quite good enough. He was moving them towards the third base, didn't realize he got surrounded and lost all 5 of them. He could have borrowed and done a lot of damage there. I still like the Drilling Claws play, and I also like the upgrade-heavy play here from Drunken Boy as he goes into 2-2. His opponent right now is sitting on good upgrades as well, though. He does have that lead, but the Mutalisk count is nowhere near as high as I would have expected at this stage.
No,
Ooh, surround coming in.
Mines get decent connections.
Mutually assured destruction there, I think.
Drunken Boy is going to have to head all the way back home. He is going to lose absolutely everything. I mean, Drunken Boy, his strength is not in his small-scale micromanagement. It's in these tactical engagements, choosing when and where to set them up. I mean, that mine connection is good. It will cause some delays, but thus far, Drunken Boy is just down to, it looks like 0 mines. 2 mines just now popped out. I mean, I really think the Ghost User is starting to pull it together and get that edge.
Drunken Boy's trying to take the Spire down here. Oh, he might get it. He might get it. Ah, down it goes. That's a nice little snipe. And now we're seeing that Drunken Boy play, but Ghost User's adapting much better to it. Drunken Boy now making his way towards the third base. There's already a defense in place, so there's no way that's really going to do anything. He can flank towards the fourth and do some damage, but he isn't going to kill it. That's just not going to happen. So the surround comes in. There's the pickup, and nicely out there. So Ghost User is way more on top of this style now. He's now taking a Hive. He's getting Pathogen Glands as well. So he's going to have that upgrade lead. As soon as Hive finishes, I would expect to see 3-3. And does he have the gas for that? Yes, he does. So if he kicks in 3-3...
Oh,
A lot of
looks
units.
like he might even get the second medevac. It looks like the Marines and Mines are also trying to engage, and it looks like, yes, Ghost User does get the second medevac. Drunken Boy and Ghost User giving us a show, Total Biscuit. This is awesome.
They really want those tips, man, and if you want to give them money for this particular performance, shoutcraft.com is the place to do that. Click the tip jar. Even a couple of bucks is very much appreciated. We've even got some players actually responding to each tip, saying thank you, and so on and so forth. That's really, really cool to see from the community. I think you guys are awesome. Now we're seeing Drunken Boy try to drop again, but Ghost User is way on top of it this time. He's got great creep spread. He's over halfway across the map right now. He's actually spreading towards his opponent's Zelnaga Watchtower. We've still got a 3-base Terran versus a 4-base Zerg here, and Drunken Boy can continue to pick off tech structures, but I am worried that this style from him is starting to lose steam.
Yeah, you know, I mean, this is the sort of traditional biomine play.
Yeah.
This is the sort of style that, if you're in Ghost User's shoes, you're going to have a ton of experience against. This is pretty much what all Terrans are doing on the ladder right now.
Yeah.
You know the angles to engage, you know how to rebuild, you know what's possible. There's the drop in the main base. Drunken Boy doing a good job with that again. And it looks like, wow, Ghost User is going to just let it happen. Tries to pick off all these units. The main is getting decimated right now, but the mines are in a very awkward position. Oh, Zergling connections. Oh, this is bad news for Drunken Boy's army. But where's the rest of Ghost User's stuff?
It's all committed. It's all committed to defend the 4th, and that 4th actually goes down. Drunken Boy somehow has enough to make this work. He's equalized the upgrade count, which will have helped a lot, and then tries to split against this. He's fighting scrappily here, but so is Gosu User. Down goes another. This hive is very close to dying. Gosu User GG's!
What?
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 Oh my god. That is an upset and a half. Good lord.
Unbelievable. Gosu User is the player to drop down, and Drunken Boy charges through. I think, it was really that last engagement where I think Ghost User was finally starting to stabilize, finally getting the good angle, and then I think it was just one too many frustrating drops back to back to back, and he just typed out.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at his supply towards the end of it, you can't really blame him. It looked like those mines weren't really doing the job, right? Because the problem with mines when you use a lot of them is they have a tendency to all fire off at once if they're in a clump like that, and then they end up just hitting stuff around them and not actually efficiently engaging. Microing all those mines, of course, when you're also trying to move Marines is godlike level control, which is very difficult to do.
Yeah.
And it seemed like, those mines didn't engage all that well, but it seemed like it was just enough. And then you had that great Marine splitting, lots of medevacs, the upgrade equalization, maybe, just maybe, Ghost User's thinking to himself, well, all those engagements I just had, I did so well. I was rocking it. I was engaging efficiently. Then the upgrades equalize before 3-3 kicks in, and suddenly those Marines are actually punching just above their weight now, whereas before they were struggling to even stay in the ring. And I think perhaps maybe that had something to do with it, but one way or the other, Drunken Boy putting on a stellar performance.
Yeah, that was very unorthodox connecting of various pieces of strategies. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people have seen the early Hellion drop plays, or the mine plays, or, tank defense, but he seems to flow between things that shouldn't exactly work properly together, but makes it all work great. That does mean that he now advances to the next round of Shoutcraft America.
Drunken Boy is our first Terran here in the round of 8. And he, I think, proves without a shadow of a doubt today that he deserves to be there. Like, that was unbelievably impressive. It really was. And, well, I think he just shut up everyone that said this guy only knows one-base cheese. That is just amazing.
Wow, well, it does mean our next match is going to be Hendralisk versus Neeb, two players who are regulars in the big competitions such as the WCS Challenger League. So another TBZ coming up, but I don't think it'll look anything like the series we just saw.
No, that was a crazy TBZ. That was just inspiring play by Drunken Boy. It really was so impressive. Now we're going to see Hendralisk versus Neeb. So Neeb takes punishment in TBT, but he's feeling pretty good about his Terran versus Zerg. Doesn't have to fight against Gosu User yet, but Gosu User is basically now the final boss of this group. So someone is going to have to go into it. Will it be another Zerg versus Zerg to finish it off with Hendralisk advancing, or will it be Neeb, who maybe gets the chance to double FXO kill that... I mean, one of the guys who, as far as I'm concerned, was one of the favorites to win the tournament. That's crazy. It's nuts. cats and dogs living together, man. I don't know how we're going to cope with this. But one way or the other, we'll be going into the next game in a few minutes' time. We need setup time. We're going to get the interview on. We're going to get Neeb and Hendrilisk both ready to talk to each other and get ready for the combat. You are watching SHOUTcraft America. My name is Totalbiscuit.
And I'm Day9. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, you're as stunned as I am, and I don't blame you. We'll be right back, folks. Don't go anywhere.